So, Paul Latham, you have been working for the Salvation Army.
Yes.
They have a lot of projects helping in developing the techniques.
Yes, in the Congo, most of the work is schools, education, medical, and religious work as well. But all tied in together. And the agriculture program was, was started up. I'm afraid there's not so much of it now. There's the Caterpillar project, and then also some projects in Eastern Congo, tree planting and beekeeping.
Beekeeping also,
yes. Beekeeping was a very big program, but it's now really become part of the local work, because beekeeping was not a traditional activity, but there were bees, and people sometimes used to cut a tree down, take the honey down, or even dig a hole. The bees were often underground. They went into termite mounds and lived there, so people used to collect the honey from the termite mounds.
But this is not the European honeybee, of course.
No,
what kind of bees are it in Africa?
Adinsonia. Yes.
And they are easy to domesticate, to keep them?
Well,
different than the European system?
I wouldn't say that people domesticate them. They keep them in beehives with very little management. Yeah. And I think that's part of the secret why they've done well. Because they haven't tried to manage them and breed. Simply allow the swarms that lived and produced, they've collected the honey from them.
So they give them shelter in a hut or what? Or what kind of boxes?
Individual boxes, what they call a ground casse. It's about 1 metre long and 25 centimetres wide.
Okay,
And then about 20 centimetres deep. And then with top bars along the top, and bees build on that. But management is very low.
So a lot of tropical countries, they didn't learn to plan ahead with doing things. That's one of the problems.
Yes. I think partly it's because of the aggressiveness of the bee.
Also, yes.
So that discourages people from doing very much management.
I've seen some weird pictures of people like in astronauts.
Yes. I've got a slideshow.
Oh, okay.
3 slideshows here, which you might like to see.
Yeah, we can do that later. Yeah, that's a very nice idea. But I want to talk about something else. In Christian culture, sometimes eating insects seems to be a dirty, forbidden thing compared to Asian countries or other kind of religion, or Buddhism, for example, where they're quite open to this kind of eating.
I don't think there's any tradition like that.
No?
No, not as far as insects are concerned, because quite a large variety of insects are eaten in the Congo.
Yeah, but not in Christian tradition. So I've heard from missionaries that go down there and say, don't stop eating insects, come eat our lambs and our cows and things like that. That we bring them,
Yes.
As
I don't think that's been. I don't think that's part of the activities of the Christian mission in the Congo.
Not
Anybody,
but that would
either
be
Catholic or
I mean, if we could bring them the
Protestant.
possibility to, like I do it now with the reforestation for the Serena Forda project, that would be a very nice project for the people there, because cows are too big and too complicated, and they need too much of land and water compared with insects,
Yeah, sure. No, I see great possibilities if people learn to leave some of the caterpillars to produce the next generation. So if they can develop the old, because traditionally there were certain customs to prevent people over-harvesting,
of course,
over-collecting of insects. So those need to be brought back again.
I also heard that they have some kind of harvesting taboos. Sometimes you are not allowed to take the caterpillars like this or this, only if they are like that.
That's right. Or you leave the first generation of caterpillars.
Okay.
They're supposed to be for the birds.
Okay.
You see? And then, so they multiply.
Yeah.
And then you can take the second generation.
Yeah. So these are the seeds for the next generation, so you leave them there.
You leave them there. Yeah. That's right.
But that's understood in most of the communities, or isn't it?
It was, but it's not now. No.
It's
because I suppose increase in population, you get there first. The person who sees the first colony takes them because somebody else is going to take them.
Of course. Yeah, that's a problem.
And the authority of the chief is not respected anymore.
Yeah. So also the knowledge about harvesting and eating of these insects, is this still there, or is it lost with the old people in these villages, and the young people, they don't know anything about that? Because they want to go more to the Western eating style?
Sure. I think most people, young people as well as older people, would be happy to eat caterpillars. It's still part of very. It's looked at as a luxury food.
Luxury food, yeah.
If you find caterpillars, you've got a good meal.
You're a rich man.
Yes. You've done well.
Okay. That's also one of the misunderstandings in Western culture against entomology, that they think it's a poor man's food, it's a hunger food. That's not true. No. You always can say, no, that's not it.
Yeah, sure.
It's different.
Somebody sent me a photo yesterday of, I don't know whether it was in a restaurant or whether it's in his own house, a lovely tablecloth and a dish with caterpillars and chikwang, which is the cassava, the cassava, and also the shelled pumpkin seed. That's a very important food.
Okay, pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin, yes, after the shell has been taken off. It looks a bit like scrambled egg. And a glass of bisap. Do you know bisap?
No.
Bisap. That's a liquid made from one of the hibiscus species.
Okay,
It's a traditional drink. So that was in a nice glass and a nice plate on a tablecloth. So it was a very special meal, I'll find it.
So, but actually you just started entomology as a field of work late in your career.
Yes. So, the same with beekeeping. It wasn't until I was in Kenya I got to know someone who was a very keen beekeeper, and he inspired me, and I felt this is a tremendous activity.
A beekeeper from down?
Yes, it was actually a Kenyan, a white Kenyan.
Okay.
He'd lived in Kenya all his life, but he was a beekeeper.
Okay.
So he got me interested, and then when I went to the Congo, I saw there were bees, but no beekeeping. So I tried to encourage people to start beekeeping.
So you know that I've written a book about the eating of the larvae and pupa of the male honeybees in Europe.
Yes, I've never tried that.
We cut at 100 tons each year alone in Switzerland and throw them away because they are not allowed to eat. So that's pity, but that's why I've written the book. I know that in all other countries, Asia, Africa, continents, they eat also the larvae.
Yes, that's right.
If they can get them.
Yes, sure.
Is this the same in Africa also? If they find a wild honeybees nest, that they take out.
Not in Bas-Congo. It's not a custom in Bas-Congo. As far as I know, I've never heard of people eating the larvae of the bees.
No.
Okay.
So some of the species, they are also dangerous. Honeybees that collect honey from poisonous plants, I think.
Yes, there are certain plants. But generally, because they're not in a big plantation, because they're scattered all over. bees collect pollen and nectar from a large variety, and so it's diluted so much that it's not poisonous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of these insects that you have shown here in your little book, are they also sold in markets, or are
Some
they
of
just eaten at the spot?
Many of them are just eaten by the family when they.
You never see it on a
collected.
market or somewhere else.
Oh yes,
Okay.
many of them.
Okay.
Mostly the named species.
Okay.
They're for example, let's see.
So they are also crops.
This one is commonly found in market. Bisu, yes. The new name is Gonimbrasia dion.
Yeah.
Dion.
They can be reared and bred in Europe also. Right? Gonimbrasia Sambesina, I was breeding also at my home.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They're very easy to make
to
it.
breed. Yes.
Yeah, with oak leaves.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
So there's a scene of
this one too. Makirikerium Bunia alcinoi. That's a common one, commonly found in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah. And quite a number of this one when it does arrive.
Ah, this is the Actia species. Huh?
Yes, that's right.
So a lot of these are also common in the hobby breeding scene in Europe.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who are breeding caterpillars and mosses, like especially moon mosses like that. That's a field of interest of a lot of nature-loving people in Europe.
Sure.
And I think they have also a lot of knowledge about how to rear them and feed them.
I see.
That's interesting. Also with our vegetation here, you can give them good food.
Sure. Yes.
So these are on the market, yeah?
That's right. And this one as well. Some of these. This is one Embrasia obscura. These are all Embrasia obscura.
Yeah.
That's a common one, commonly.
So that's really interesting that you never see, only see the caterpillars and you don't see the adults.
No,
you know?
sure.
So because that's a real special view. So Acherontia acherontis is also known in Europe. Here.
That's right.
They come over the Alps to Switzerland. You can sometimes collect them on
a big enemy of bees.
They say they go
in the beehive.
Yeah. They're thieves.
This one is.
But you have seen that they eat the larvae of this?
Well, they do in Bas-Congo.
Okay.
Yes.
I've always thought that they must be poisonous because they eat on this poisonous plant. Like
Solanum.
Solanum. So
that's yes. Don't know.
If I catch one, I try one.
Yeah.
But they always cook them.
Yes, that's right. They do. They don't eat them raw.
Never, huh?
No.
Compared to other insects like locusts, also that you can also eat raw, or especially bee larvae that are famous for eating, or other larvae of coleopteros that you eat raw. They never eat them raw.
I don't think so. I've not heard of that.
And so what they do with them?
They generally boil or fry them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But first, before boiling, do they empty the gut?
Yes, for most species they do.
And how do they do that?
Generally with a stick. Just poke it in, poke them inside out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, they just tear it out. The gut.
Squeeze it out. Once they've made a hole, they squeeze out.
Oh, okay.
Inside.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
As
far as I know.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of people who empty them up, and after that they come to
some generally washed.
Washed, yeah.
Washed and then either boiled or put on a metal plate over the fire.
For drying and roasting.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, but to the market, how do they come to the market then as a product? Fresh?
Yes, sometimes, yes. They're sold live. Very often. In Kinshasa, there's a whole section of the market where you find live caterpillars for sale. But also, if they're transported from a long distance, they'll be dried first and then sold.
Yeah. And what kind of meals do they prepare with them? Do they eat them not as a snack, or is it just a side dish with other things?
They can be mixed in with peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a favourite dish.
Yeah.
Or say with this, like this pumpkin seed.
Yeah, pumpkin seed. Yeah.
Yeah. Variety of ways. But the meat eaten as part of the main meal.
Yeah.
I don't know them being eaten just by themselves.
Yeah. Because in Asia, a lot of insects are eaten like snacks in the streets, but if you go into the villages, you see, oh no, they eat it with rice or with something else. It's a really part of the meal. You know?
That's right.
It's not just a gag or just a... Yeah, okay. So is it allowed to go into the forest and just pick everything from a tree? Is it forest, is it for everybody? Or do the trees belong to some?
Yes, often the trees are marked.
I've seen it in the book also.
That's right. They put a mark where...
But who makes the mark? Is it the owner of the land?
I'm not too sure.
Or is it a family thing? Or
yes, I think the land would be owned by a clan.
A clan, yeah.
Yes, and then so members of the clan would have first priority. Well, they would know when the caterpillars arrive as well.
Yeah.
There is a proverb. I'm not sure whether it's here.
Oh, the proverb.
Yes, that you don't take a basket into somebody else's forest. No, it's not in this.
Yeah. Oh, here we see the marking on a...
That's right, yes, on a tree.
So what does it mean? It does mean that somebody put some caterpillars onto this tree? Or what?
No, they've arrived by themselves.
Yeah.
See, that cross is an old one.
Yeah.
These are
the
quite new.
One,
yeah.
Okay. So it means you don't touch that if you're not the owner of it.
Yes. Sometimes they put fetish on the tree to prevent people.
And what is it looking like? Looks like this fetish thing?
Oh, it's a variety of things. Yes, a necklace or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a protective thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Around it. That's interesting. Yeah. So, and what kind of insects did you eat personally and find a good dish for yourself?
When I was there?
Yes,
I often used to eat the Serena Forda.
The Serena Forda, that is now reintroduced.
Sure, and also this one, where is it? Vinsu, it's called. Vinsu, this one.
This is...
That one's commonly... I remember eating that.
This is a mass aggregation of this... they does also. Do they also build?
Oh, I've eaten this one.
Like
I've eaten this one too.
Yeah. Okay. So this looks a kind of weird thing, you know. It's a ball filled with caterpillars.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. That's particularly a characteristic of the Anafi.
I
believe.
Yeah. Then what is special about it?
They're very fatty.
Fatty.
Yes.
Okay. So it has a good taste and
and it's quite high in fat.
And it takes on the aromas of the spices very well, probably. Huh?
Not sure. I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would be something for you.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Atropos, this will einmal thrive. They come to Switzerland next.
This one is very common, but it's not liked as much as some of the other ones.
No. Just from the taste of it.
The taste. I don't remember eating that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one also is often available in large numbers.
Yeah. It's in the...
Yes. We still haven't found out what species that is, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, you should make it develop to an adult, so probably that would be. But sometimes if you pick them, it's too late, you know.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. That's interesting. Very good. So let's go to the book in short. Just like this. Is it too hot for you here now?
No, it's okay.
It's a nice place here, looking out to the hay market over there. So you also produced some educational papers for the people.
Yes, this was produced by local people.
Yeah.
One of our instructors drew this because traditionally people thought that the caterpillars were brought by a bird. They were carried by a bird, which appears at the beginning of the caterpillar season.
Now they think that the
birds bring the eggs.
The birds bring the eggs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this was to try to show them that it's actually the moths.
Yeah.
Which are.
So, but they never see or rarely see the moths, or if they see them, they don't make.
They don't make a connection.
Aha. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So they don't know about the development of the caterpillar from through the pupa.
No.
To the okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think maybe some of them know, that it forms a chrysalis.
Yeah.
But the development of the chrysalis into the butterfly, people don't know.
They don't know. Okay.
They don't know about that. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So that's one of the illustrations for an educational.
Yes, that
for the
was
local
from a chart.
people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And what is the aim and the goal of this education? What do you want to tell the people?
Yes, it's simply to try to explain the life cycle of them and the importance of leaving some of the caterpillars to form a chrysalis, so that it will be there for the next time. Yes.
Yeah. It's just basic information about the life cycle of the insect, so that they can start to protect
understand
them and manage them sustainably.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So, and where is it? It's in the schools there.
I don't know. A lot of these charts were produced, probably more within the church, I think.
Okay.
Yes. And also was in some schools too.
Yeah.
I think. Yes.
That's an interesting aspect also. Yeah, here we see eggs of pupas, mostly from this Ambrosia species, mostly in the ground.
Yes, that's right.
Hidden in the ground.
Yes.
Mostly this kind of black pupas.
Sure.
So actually, the caterpillars are very famous in the hobby entomology scene in Europe. So everybody knows the adults, but they don't know the caterpillars.
No.
So, to bring the knowledge together. Are these also?
Yes, that was another chart. It's the same basic, but also helping people to understand that if you cut the trees down to make charcoal or firewood, if you cut all of them down, then there's no food for the caterpillar.
Yeah.
And fire as well, the danger of fire. And then the different varieties of caterpillar, the nutritional importance.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what that one is. That's the value of the moth or the butterfly, because some of them produce butterflies which do fly in the day for pollination.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what that part.
So, do you think that still today eating of insects in Africa is something that's gaining more and more interest, or it's going down and down because a lot of people tend to eat the Western style? Sure. As soon as they get up to the middle class, they think they should eat like we white people eat and drive the same car.
No, I think it's the case that if the caterpillars are available, they would eat them.
Yeah. Why? Because it just tastes good and they like it.
Yes, and it's traditional food.
Yeah.
I think the problem is not that people feel that that's a poor man's food, but it's just not available because they've collected it.
Yeah.
I would say that's the main reason.
I also heard that a lot of African people, as soon as they get up from the
Yes.
from the basic communities into a middle class thing, and then more to the Western style. They start also stigmatizing the eating of insects, because they also say, yeah, that was in the past, we ate it. But this is for the old people, and it was, but now we know better. We eat other things.
Yes. Maybe some in the city, some places, but I've not come across this.
Okay.
I would be surprised to hear whether that's general.
It's written in the FAO report, in fact, also, that they found out that people that stopped eating traditional food and went to a so-called upper class with more Western style of food, they are not as healthy.
No, they're not as healthy.
As
That's
the people that eat the traditional way.
Sure.
So what in your village in Congo, were the people healthy there with that kind of food?
I think that the main thing was lack of food.
Lack of food?
Yes.
The amount of food,
I mean, the soils are very poor.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult sometimes to get a good harvest, sufficient food for the whole family.
Yeah. So carbohydrates also, not only proteins and micronutrition. Okay. So what was the main crop there for?
Cassava is the main crop, and peanuts, groundnuts. Those are the main crops.
And what did you try to give them or bring them as a basic carbohydrate source?
Well, the main idea was to try to build up the fertility through using agroforestry. Trees, leguminous trees that improve the fertility of the soil.
All right, yeah.
And that was the main thing.
The main thing is the building up of a good soil.
Yes.
For agriculture.
I mean, traditionally people used to leave their land for 10 or 15 years before they would cultivate it, so the forest could come back, and that would revitalize the soil, improve the soil fertility, so that when they cut the trees down, there would be sufficient fertility to grow one crop.
Okay.
But now, because of the increase in population, that gap of 10-15 years has been cut to 2 or 3.
Okay.
So the soil never really has time to recover.
Okay. Yeah. So you're probably one of the first of these ethno-entomologists going into a village looking what other people eating there. You've been in one spot in Africa. There's a lot of other countries, a lot of other villages that eat also a lot of insects, but probably others. So who is doing that work? I mean, we should be proud to have more people like you, Latham, to go there. So how can we try to save the knowledge?
Yes. Well, I know
the people that still know it. I know from Asia also it is getting lost because the new generation has quite another approach.
Yes.
Also, for a lot of Asian people, nature is spoiled by chemicals, insecticides. They are not allowed to touch insects anymore because they know they are dangerous. So it's really good.
I know that there are quite a number of people, say for example Severin Chibozo in Benin.
Yeah.
He's one of the people who are really a local man who's very interested in insects and has been writing quite a bit about edible insects in West Africa. And there are quite a number. There's another man in Congo Brazzaville, who has become very much involved in this. He's just written one of the papers in that other document there.
You have also your own account in the internet where you publish some papers.
Yes.
From your friend, especially about the reforestation and the reintroduction of Sterina.
Yes.
Yeah, so you think this is going on now?
I do, yes. I think there are more and more papers. We did a survey, Francois Malès and myself did a survey of literature.
Yeah.
And the volume of literature coming from Africa is increasing. Yes.
Okay.
So I think a lot more people are becoming involved and recording the traditional caterpillars and how they managed.
What would you say to young people who sit there, listen to you and say, yeah, that would be something for my life also, where I can invest my energy? What do they do, the young people today who are interested to help? Should they come to the Salvation Army asking whether there's a project somewhere? Or?
Yes, I don't know. I mean, Augustine, the man who's working on the project in Kilweka, he has, I think, 6 or 7 students, biology students, who are working with him, so that they will gain knowledge and interest, and hopefully will pursue the same thing in other parts of Bas-Congo. Yes.
If we switch to agriculture with edible insects, what is needed to do that, after your opinion? What is the most important thing now if we start to not collecting them also, but cultivating them?
Well, I think the important thing is to identify the species, work out the life cycles, and see how they can be produced in the village on a sustainable basis. Work out which plants are edible, which plants they eat, just how to manage them fairly simply, as long as it's simple management, nothing too complicated. I think
that seems like a serious roadmap. So that seems like almost a thing that's still going on with your projects now. Trials for certain species, whether that works or it doesn't work.
I think there's tremendous field. Open up. Yes. In this booklet, gives an idea of the. Where's that? Yeah, here it is.
Oh, this is the new paper here. I've not seen it yet. Oh, yeah.
See, there's the distribution of the edible species in Africa.
And 15 lepidopterals. Okay.
Yes. So, I mean, to work out for each of these species, the trees that they feed on, or the plants
that they feed. Easy to grow host plants.
Yes.
So they're all polyphage, so they're eating different kind of trees?
Yes.
Okay.
Different hosts. But it's valuable to know where they are, so that if they become extinct in one area, you can introduce them from another. That sort of thing.
Also, probably it can start kind of a domestication project, like with Bombus mori, that you find out which of these insects react on your cultivation techniques and grow good and fast in protected settings.
That's right.
This is already starting. Of course. All the life cycle. Life cycle assessment. This is a very
which months they appear, in different areas. Because they come in different times.
And how easy it is to reproduce them, and how many eggs they lay, and so on.
What are the pests? One of the big problems is ants.
Ants,
Yes. Augustine is finding the big problem is ants and how to deal with them.
Okay. That are predators of the caterpillars in the foliage of the trees. And
both the eggs and the young caterpillars are parasitized by ants.
They are eaten by them.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
birds are another problem sometimes too.
If they are not eaten before,
That's right. Sure.
That's a big field, So we should find out which insects are suitable for this kind of outdoor cultivation. Like keeping cows, you keep your caterpillars in the tree canopy. That would be a nice idea.
Yes.
But it starts now. So how successful is this thing with Serena Forda now? How successful is this project with Serena Forda on the planted tree?
The problem was, first of all, that in the area where we collected it in Bandundu, it lives on one tree, Berkia africana.
Yep.
And when it was introduced, traditionally in Bas-Congo, it eats Crossopteryx febrifuga. So Augustine thought, well, because it eats both trees, it'll be easy to transfer. But when we introduced the eggs onto Crossopteryx febrifuga in Bas-Congo, they refused. Not one single colony would accept Crossopteryx.
So the eggs that were laid on one plant,
yes,
they didn't accept the other plant.
No.
So you must.
So we had
bring
to
them to.
He's had to start from scratch and try and find one or two. He had one or two old Berkia africana in the village, and managed to rear one or two, I think 3 colonies on them, on those trees, even though the leaves were quite old.
Okay.
So now he's tried to reproduce Berkia africana, but it's not an easy tree to reproduce, mainly through root suckers. So he's now got established quite a plantation or quite a group of these trees. Now he's trying to find out when the caterpillars are going to hatch from the eggs, from the next cycle, so that he'll have fresh green leaves available for them. So he started a plan of burning different areas to produce young forage for the caterpillars by the time they arrive.
So that's interesting. So they are not. So they're quite picky.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Not.
Serena Forda seems to be quite specific.
Even
they accepted Berkia africana and Erythrofleum africana and a Bridelia species. Those are the only ones that he found that
work.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's still experimenting.
Very much experimenting.
Yes,
okay. Yeah.
And so you lost the subspecies?
Yes, we lost most of the eggs, Serena Forda eggs that were brought in, unfortunately. Only 3 survived.
So I hope you have big success doing that. And you still go on with your much appreciated work that you're doing for the edible insects.
Yeah, it's fascinating to work it out.
Yeah.
He tried to grow Erythrofleum africanum, the host tree that in Bandundu, where the caterpillars came from. Found that the seeds germinated okay, but they all died off after a certain time. They didn't grow, so we're trying to find out why.
Okay.
Yeah.
The plant doesn't want to grow there.
That's right, doesn't seem want to grow.
Yeah, nature is a very complicated and subtle thing. Thank you, Paul Latham. It was so nice to speak to you here in Edinburgh.
I always enjoy talking about it.
That's really great. I feel that you're far away from retirement. You're far away from retirement. So that's.
I'm 81.
Yes, congratulations. You look so great.
How old are you?
I'm 60 now.
60?
Yeah.
Very good. Yes, good.
Yeah, that's great to hear from you.
Sure.